Well, hello, my friends. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam 2019. You know, at my age, better late than never. Well, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone, everywhere. And it may not seem yet like, oh, Jay, I don't know about this year. But look, don't worry. This too shall pass. So we just have to stand together. It's going to work out. But regardless, we have to continue to go on. And we have to continue to just fellowship with each other and encourage each other and pray for each other and believe for each other. Because that's just what friends do. Right? Right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Like I said, I hope your holidays were great. Now that's over. We're starting a new year. It may not have started out like, like maybe with a bang like we would hope it would, but we have to continue in what we have in our hearts and in our minds. And I'm excited to just being able to share with you, because I want to let you know how grateful I am that you come back time and time again to let me just share my life with you, and then in turn you share what you love and what what your aspirations are, and I want to give you all the encouragement I can. So when I was thinking about, I'm not a person to do New Year's resolutions, but I thought, I gotta have a theme. I knit and crochet from a theme. For all new viewers, welcome. I'm Jay. I'm not a professional knitter or an expert, but I am seasoned and I make my own designs, and I've just been sharing them on YouTube. So if you are new and looking for a place to have fellowship and have a lot of fun and great people, you've come to the right place. But I'm just excited about, I thought, well, what could my theme be this year? I really want it to be something worth the time for you to come. Not just to look at, we all have yarn. We all have this and all that. That's just not my thing. My thing is, I just want to I don't know. I just want our hearts to be connected. And this is what my theme, it came to me just like that. Ding! My theme this year is words do matter. Yes, I said it. Words do matter. And if they don't matter, we've got a whole lot of words in a thing called a Bible. It's just full of words. And if they don't matter, I don't know where in the world, I don't know what else to say. But words do matter. The words I say to you, the words you send to me, the words that I give to my neighbor or our friends. That doesn't mean they're always happy words, but words do matter. So when I started looking around trying to get my theme and trying to come up with, how am I going to share it here on my YouTube channel? I always, from the time I came on, I had this little thing. I have this wall in my studio that when my knitting friends, when we get together and knit and crochet, they would come over. Well, I had a lot of holes in the walls, because Jay liked to hang things on the wall. And those little anchor holes, the little things you screw in, well, you can't get them out. So you just have permanent holes in the wall. So one year, I didn't even know I was going to be on YouTube. I bought a calendar. Well, I like calendars anyway. I buy them every year. I put them all over my house. I like them by the back door, so when I'm going out, there's encouraging words. I have maybe some nice food-like things in the kitchen, some with recipes, some with pretty pictures of breads or fruit or, a meatloaf. And back here, I would just find a really pretty calendar to cover up those holes so they wouldn't see it. And little by little, I don't know, it just gave me encouragement, and it gave me a theme every month, because every month the picture would be different. And so that's how my calendar idea came about. So I was over at Hobby Lobby. Well, I was out looking. I normally get my calendars from Tuesday morning, but they're getting kind of low. They don't get as many in anymore. Or, of course, Joann's. And I've even noticed that Walmart's has some pretty great calendars now. But I was at Hobby Lobby, and I was looking through their calendar. And I have to start early, because once they kind of get low on calendars, they probably don't reorder, because the calendar is only good for a year. So I got mine really early in the fall, and this is the calendar I want to show you for Jay's theme this year, 2019, Words Do Matter. Look at this beautiful calendar. I'm going to hold it just like that. And I'm going to move it up and over, because I want you to see it. This beautiful calendar is the 2019 Legacy Calendar. The artwork is by Christine Adolph. And the name of this calendar, well, on the front cover, it says, Live Simply. Live Simply. Isn't that pretty? Now, like I said, a calendar is only good for a year. So once a lot of the calendars are gone, they don't, bring in more supplies of them. So every year, whenever I use a calendar, I will link the Legacy shopping site so that you can. She has a lot of calendars too, Christine Adolph. I ran across her calendar some years ago, but I didn't know if I could use it or not. But since, like I said, I'm just using it on the wall as the backdrop. And I just like to tell people start asking me about the calendars. And I just wanted you to know whose beautiful artwork this is, and how you can have a copy if you like. So I will always link Legacy wall calendars, their shop, where you can go and order this calendar online. And of course, Amazon may have some. So this year, I just thought this was very pretty, very different for me. Most of the calendars I've used have been either whimsical or birds or nature, flowers. These are flowers, but they're more of they're kind of whimsical, but they have I don't know, there's an elegance about them, and they pop. So, for this month, make sure I don't get another month, look at what we're going to look at, what our theme or our words for the month of January 2019. It says, it takes courage. And look at it, not only is the artwork here, but she carries the artwork down at the bottom of the calendar. You don't see that much. Is that pretty? See down at the very bottom? So the whole calendar is full of Christine's beautiful work. And even to top it off, I don't know, we were on the same page, because right here on every month, she picks out someone famous or someone who's well known, who had a purpose in this life, and who has shared humanity and good things with us. And on this very first month is Nelson Mandela. And it says, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And of course, I guess I think he should know he spent 27 years in a prison because of the color of his skin. If that doesn't help, if that don't give you some courage, I don't know what won't. So, I want to introduce you. This is the calendar I will have on my wall this year with some encouraging words, and my theme, that words do matter. What do you think of that? Okay, so next, of course, For those, like I said, that are new, I'm about the knitting and crocheting. And I try to bring a tutorial every month. Either this month will be knitted, is a knit tutorial, and then maybe next month I'll try to, slice it up, and maybe I'll do a crochet. And then sometimes I'll just do little pop-up tutorials, little things that I want to just, because I'm thinking about doing a little extra for this because this stitch is so pretty. But this is what, look, this is Jay's new sweater. Is that pretty? Look. And the name of the sweater is really fun. It's not, I really didn't want to name the sweater. I just wanted to name the moment. And the name of this moment is Encourage Yourself from Start to Finish. As we start this year, we're going to encourage each other and encourage our own self from start to finish. And I want you to go on the journey with me. So, here is the sweater. It's a V-neck. It has kind of medium length sleeves. It's done in 2 pieces. It's just got a plain stockinette back. I was too tired after I did all this to try to put something in the back on this, because I really wanted to get into the V-neck and show you how it's done. And I'll show you my, I take you step by step. So even when I have problems or I need to make corrections, I show you the mistakes, the corrections, and how to problem solve. That's what I'm about. So I'm going to take you step by step of this, and then any problems that I had, then I'm going to show you how I had to problem solve it. And so then the next time we knit this sweater, or you knit it, because I just love to knit, and I don't mind knitting something more than once. I just do it in another color. So I'm going to take you step by step on this sweater. I'm going to give you an overview. I'll take it off, give it an overview, tell you the supplies, and of course show you where I got the stitch, because I work out of stitch books. That's how I taught myself to knit. I wasn't privy to, to just learn how to knit I didn't have any family members or anything. So I taught myself to knit over years, stitch by stitch by stitch, and it was all from stitch books. So when I came on YouTube, I just did, look, when I didn't know what to do, I just started doing what I know, and I know stitch books. So I'm going to show you the stitch, and I'm going to, we're going to go over our formula. It's just a way that I, like I said, to learn how to knit instead of working out of someone else's pattern or book. I just taught myself, and I called it a formula, so that I would have something, to kind of to set my mind and set my brain. And then I just started working things the same way over and over until I learned and taught myself to knit. And I enjoy and love sharing what little bit I know, my simple designs, my little look, old school stories with you and you and you and you. So I can't think of anything else because I don't really buy anything to show. I try to work as much out of my stash as possible, and then I try to encourage you, not only once you work one of my designs, to send me in a picture, and I will add it to Jay's Friendship album. And I hope you check out some of the videos and see what lovely and beautiful work. Oh my gosh, I won't call her name right now, but she sent me a picture, and she made one of the last sweaters I made with the lace down the front, top down. And I sent her a message back, and I said, I just started crying. It was so pretty. It really was. I mean, to just not, look, we only have this connection through this camera. I'm not there, and showed her, I'm showing her step by step, but I wasn't there, right next to her, like, okay, we can knit, we're going to meet next week and I can help you. No. She was willing to follow me step by step, and she got beautiful results. And that encourages me to keep encouraging you, to keep encouraging me, to keep encouraging you. Okay, Jay, stop. So again, thank you so much for coming and joining me. I want to wish everyone a happy, happy new year. And so, without further ado, let's get started in this tutorial. Jay's Knit. Encourage yourself from start to finish for 2019. Alright, so let me show you the sweater close up, a nice overview, and you can see how it's put together. And of course, you know, we'll be working step by step. Now, first thing is, it's done in 2 pieces. I thought about trying to work it a different way, but, you know, up the back and over the front or something, but 2 pieces it just worked out perfect for this stitch. This is the clover stitch, and I'll go over that with you in just a minute. And then here's the front. I'm going to take you through the 3 needle bind off, that really pretty long, nice, pretty seam. Adding the sleeves, we're going to do all of that. We've done that before, but we'll do it again. On both sides, the cuffs, we've done that before. Now the back I just left in stockinette. I just left the back plain because there's so much knitting on this, and it really didn't need anything in the back. But it's just plain stockinette. So this is the part that you can easily carry with you to work, or on your commute to work, or when you have time at lunch, and different little things, because you're just going to be working back and forth up till you get to about to your arm space. And then I would stop it and then start the front. And then that way, when you get the front up to the arm space, now you can work them back and forth and make sure. And I'm going through all how to measure and all that. You're going to get everything. And on this one, we're going to work our first V-neck. And I did have an issue. It wasn't a hard issue or anything. It's just I forgot what I had done. And then I changed. I didn't, the math, if I had just followed the math that I worked out, would have been fine. But then I came up with, well, what if? Or if I wasn't sure if that was right. But anyway, I'll go over that once you get to the sweater. And that's really it for this simple two-piece sweater. Really nice. Your lace, this clover stitch is here. And then the rest of it on up to the top is in stockinette. And voila! 2 pieces, 1 beautiful sweater. And look, you can encourage yourself from start to finish. That's what you're going to get on this one. So, I hope you're going to give it a try. I hope you like it. Now watch. Now the yarns real quick. Let me just run through that, since I have the sweater here. This is Vanna's, and this color is mustard. This came out of my old stash. In fact, it was up on the wall, and I thought I better use some of it. Because, you know, after a while, you can usually match the line brand Vanna's Choice, but you know, but everything gets old, and maybe it depends on the light or that it's exposed to, or whatever, the heat in your house. You know, it could be a color change. So I thought I better use some of this yarn that I have. So you're gonna need at least four, and you know, maybe 5 skeins, but at least 4 skeins to have on hand to start this. If you're, you know, I represent the larger sizes. You may not need but 3 or 4 if you're real small, you know, if you're small or medium. But that's something that everyone can get. And, of course, Vanna, it's a number 4 weight yarn, but it's recommended. All the needles always are number 9s that they recommend. So let me show you the needles that you will use on this sweater. We've used these needles before, so you know, try to think of what we've already used, and then we add on as we need to. But for the front and for the back, you need a number 9. This is Clover, US number 9, 36 inches in length. You can use any brand you want, but if you're new, you know, I just suggest Clover's because it's easy on the joints, and it makes it easy. It's easy to knit with. I will have 2 of these. I would go ahead and cast on the front and the back. so that I can switch back and forth and work them, you know, up, like I say, up to about the arm space, and then you can start, you know, matching them up and making sure that everything is matching. All right, then you're going to need for your for the sleeve, after we add the sleeve on and everything sewn up, to pick up the stitches around the edge of the sleeve, you're going to need a 9/16 in length. I didn't change to an 8. I kept it at a 9 because that's something we have used before. Trying to think of what we've used. Then, when we separate the two fronts, the back is still in one piece on a double pointed needle, but once we separate the left and right sides from each other to put in the V-neck, you're going to need some long number 9 straight needles. So this is the same. These are clovers, these are number 9, and these are straight. These are like the long ones, 13, because you can see how long the seam we're going to have to seam up. Last but not least, this is a good needle. I think we have used it, but if not, it's going to be a great one to add to your Clover collection because it is a 9/24 inch. And it works really good for your neck, for this neck that we're going to pick up stitches. It's a Clover number 9, 24 inch. And this is a great needle. Either, if you can't find 24, you might get away with a 29. 29 is a little longer, but a 24. But they make great needles to do all your cowls. Like if you want cowls in the round, and we are going to do, I got some surprises for you. We're going to do a lot of working in the round on smaller projects, on smaller items. In fact, I was thinking of going ahead and showing you how to take this stitch and put it in the round. So just, you know, let me get this video up. It will have to be in 2 parts, people. I'm just sorry. I wanted to take my time, do it right, and because I want you to have good results. But then in the meantime, I may work it up in the round for just a nice, pretty cowl. You know, scarf's just so long, just like I never can get through with a scarf, but a cowl in the round I can do real quick. Well, you saw my Christmas one. I was still making them after Christmas. I just couldn't stop. On these 9/24s or 9/29s, but this is 9/24. All right, so now those are the needles. You see an overview of this pretty sweater. I think you're gonna like it. I hope. Did it look good on me? I just felt so. Oh, I just loved it. I just put it on. Oh, even at my size. Hey, look. Even at my size, I thought, oh my gosh, I just love this one. All right, so the next thing is, let me just show you the stitch and the book we got the stitch out of. All right, before we look at the stitch book, I wanted to show you my new box that I bought at Joann's. I bought it, I think, I bought it early fall. I just thought I'd save it. My idea was to save it to Valentine's Day because it was just so pretty and it made me think of Valentine's. And so, but then I decided to bring it out. And let me just move bird. There's bird and some flowers. And look, it says, "Love lives here." Imagine that. Imagine those nice, pretty words. I don't know if is it showing up on the camera? Love lives, because it's gold. Let's see, can I bring it real close? There we go. Love lives here. And there's the top. Love lives here. Now, those are some pretty words. And they matter. And voila, open the box. Isn't that pretty? Lots of pretty. Yeah, lots of pretty pinks and things. So that's what reminded me. I thought it looked like Valentine's. But I decided to put it out onto my counter so that I could have something pretty and some pretty words. Now for our book. Boom! Look, guess what? It's one of our favorite books. The 750 Knitting Stitches, the Ultimate Knit Stitch Bible. You know, I got this book off Amazon like a year or so ago, and I just love it ever since. And we've used a lot of things out of it, and a lot of you bought it. So see, we're using the books. But I have some new ones on down the road, I've got some new things to share with you. So in this book, let's see, can I find the page? All right, on page 146, there we go, and it's this one here, and it's called, just says Clover Pattern. And you've seen this stitch in other books. It's a stitch in public domain, but you know, I just like using I just like to use the books we buy, and you know, and every once in a while they'll be written a little different. But this is written up very easy to follow. There are 12 rows, but you know, half of them are purl rows, so that makes it easy. The stitch is really nice. It makes a nice texture, just like you saw, even though at my size, I don't think it made me look too large or anything, you know. Some stitches, you know, maybe I wouldn't wear, you know, a heavy cable just wouldn't look right, maybe, you know, my body type at this weight or whatever at this stage. But I didn't think it looked too bad at all. In fact, like I said, I really liked it. So, and I think I will enjoy wearing it. But it's on 146, and so we have this book. But now, you know, I'm going to take you step by step. But I want you to see that we are still using books that I've did a review on, and if you bought the book. Now, on this Clover Pattern, you're gonna see right after this, you know, I'm setting up now. This year I'm gonna be really try to have the same steps and everything. That's what I'm working on. Have the same you know, just have everything set up in the same order. That's the way I want to put it. So right after this section, after I do an overview and then I go through the stitch and the supplies, then you will get my information sheet. And my information sheet is just something that I, you know, try to, some people just feel, even though I take it step by step, but some people it just makes them, they just like the comfort of having something to look at and to read and just kind of go over so they can set their minds. But on this information sheet, I go back and I give you Jay's size chart help. This is a size chart we've used before, and it's based on a U.S. number 9. So now you can't use these numbers for U.S. number 8 sweater or number 8. You know, well, Jay, well, you can work it in a number 8, but you have to go and do all the math to figure the numbers for a number 8. This is based on a U.S. number 9. Okay, and like for small to medium, 88 stitches. In other words, you've got a range of 88 stitches to work with. You can go, if it needs be, you can go up 4 stitches, you know, like to center things. So you have a range of 4 stitches. So 88 for small and medium. I represent the large or the 1X. It's kind of creeping on over. But that same number, 96, I've been working. And it still fits. 96 for large to 1X. For 2X or 3X, I calculated to be around 104. Now, you know this number just represents the front of the sweater. You get the same number on the back of the sweater. So, 96, I'd have 96 for the front and 96 for the back. So that's why you can go ahead and cast on. See, you can just go ahead and have 2 separate needles. This size, 2X to 3X, this person can have 2 needles and go ahead and cast on 104 stitches on each needle and start working. Over 4X, you know, by the math, I got up to 112. But now you know your own size, and you know something, you know, if you need to go up, just go up by 4 stitches. If you think, well, 112, Jay, I don't know. Or you can go up by 8 stitches. You know, something like that. You can, you know, if you have to play around with the numbers, because I'm only using the math here. But anyway, those are my size chart help. These are the numbers here. And then I've typed up the Clover pattern so I can work it with you row by row so you can see every stitch. And like I said, it's up to you how many times you want to repeat this pattern up to your underarm. And I believe I went about 5, but I'll go over all that. It's a multiple of 12 plus 1. So, let's see if there's anything else. that I'm going to tell you about this one. No, the stitches are really, it's a nice knit. The stitches are, the pattern is easy to memorize, or to it just flows really good. I don't think you'll have a problem. Was there anything else I need to tell you? No, but if I do have things that, just for your FYI, just for your information, when I do have to add anything or make a note, or someone asks me a question, instead of putting it in the show notes underneath the video, always go to the comment section where people are commenting, and you will see a place where I have added, it will say Jay's Help Box. Jay's Help Box. And then I will address a question that I think everybody might be interested in, or I may have to give you a correction, or I might give you a little more information, something I might have forgotten or said wrong, you know. So instead of show notes, always check the comments where people are commenting and leaving messages, but look for Jay's Help Box. I like it over there. And that way everybody can just kind of see it as they're scrolling down looking at read messages. All right, that's it. So right after this, you're going to see this, my information sheet on the screen. Take your time, and then we will be ready to knit row by row. I'm going to knit it on a little sample piece. And once we do that, then I'll go into step by step on the sweater. But there will be two parts. This will be part one, and then you take in part one, look at it, you know, go through it, and then I'll have part ready. We'll be trying to finish up on part one. It just takes so long to upload them when they're so long, and it just ties everything up. So, two parts. All right. All right, that does it. And we'll be ready to knit, and look at the information sheet, and then we'll be ready to knit. All right, you've had a chance to look at the full information sheet, and I've gone over everything. So here is, I'm going to share with you, you know, I use myself as an example. So I'm going to share with you my formula for my size, and I represent large to 1X, or maybe a little over. On my US number 9 circular, I allow myself 96 stitches. And you know, that's 96 for the front and 96 for the back. You know, if you take all the stitches. But, you know, all we got to do is figure one side, the other side's going to match. The Clover stitch, the pattern that I just shared with you out of our stitch book. Oh, I love this. Like I said, this is a nice stitch to knit. Okay. It is a multiple of 12 plus 1. So when I started making my formula, I took 12 times 8, but that was too large because there was no place for the plus 1. So I dropped down to 12 times 7. Make sure I'm on camera so you can see good. Okay. That equals 84 stitches. That's what we're talking about, 84 stitches. Then you can add the plus 1, which will total in my block. It's where the lace will go. A total of 85 stitches. Now, I take the 85 and come over here, and I just simply start subtracting. Whatever your number is, you will start subtracting however many repeats. I'm going to do 7 repeats. So I take 85 from 96. That leaves me 11 stitches. Well, there's no, you know, it's not hard to do. You want to center this, so 11 is an odd number. You can work with an odd number. You don't have to have even numbers. One side could have more stitches than the other. Sometimes when I get close to the arm space, I'll have more stitches on that side, and maybe then maybe I'd have along the front edge. So you can use an odd number, but we just want to center this. So I simply add 1 stitch to my 11. That will give me 12 stitches. Now, just simple. Divide 12 in half, and you're going to get 6 and 6. Easy, easy. Easy peasy. Now, to write up my formula, which I can do now, I just use the letter B to represent a border. In other words, just plain stitches. I'm going to have 6 stitches on this side that I'll just do in stockinette. Knit on the front, purl on the back. Here in the block is the lace. For me, it's 85 stitches, repeating the pattern 7 times. And then the other 6, border of 6. Now, if I add this, this, and this, I come up with, voila, 97 stitches, which is just perfect. Because, you know, we're going to do a 1 by 1 ribbing at the bottom, and I need an odd number. Normally, we have to add 1 to get that odd number, but this worked out. I don't even have to add 1. It's already 97 stitches. When we're working flat, 1 by 1, odd number. Working in the round, we need an even number. All right, so I'm going to cast on. I want you to go ahead and cast on your number. I will meet you back just to let you see where I am. I'm going to do a smaller sample. And of course, then I'll call out row, but we're going to work together row by row. All right, be back in just a minute. Okay, like I said, I'm just going to work on a small sample. I'm trying to film in a different order. You won't notice any difference, but me filming so that I don't have to, I want to go a little faster this year since so many of you have been with me from the start or you've been with me long enough that I don't have to make a duplicate sample or a real-time sample every time. And so I'm just doing a little small sample here. But if you want the little formula for the sample that I'm going to work, it's simply like, it could be a scarf, it could be something else. I'm thinking about doing I'm going to get through this video, and then towards the end of the month, I may come on and do, I have another little idea to use this same stitch and bring you like more of a, just I don't know, beginner, not really beginner, but maybe if you don't have time to do the large sweater, you might like the next little project I'm going to do. But anyway, the formula for this sample is a border of 4. Then you're going to have 6 stockinette stitches, knit on the front, purl on the back. Then I've taken 3 times, I'm going to repeat the lace 3 times, and then the +1, so that gives me 37 stitches in the block. That's the lace right there. Then all I have to do is match the other side. I need 6 stitches over here to even it out, and then a border of 4. Then I just add all of this up, so I have a cast on of 57 stitches for this sample that I'm doing. So if you'd like to do that one, and wait till you get the yarn you want for your sweater, that's fine, or just, you know, just so you're knitting along with me. All right, let's go. All right, so let's talk now. Real quick, because, like I say, if you've been with me a while, I start out the same way all the time. That's how I had to teach myself. So, you know, I don't have to think a lot. I just go right into it. When I start my ribbing, now you're down here on the very first row. I call that row a wrong side. It just always looked like a wrong side, and unless I'm following someone else's pattern, I start out. There's an edge stitch right here. Some people slip that stitch, first and last stitch. I knit it every time. I knit the first and last stitch, so I'm not counting that as the ribbing. That's my edge stitch. Now I count the next stitch. You're down here at the very bottom. So I would start on this wrong side row, purl 1, knit 1, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, continue across on this wrong side to this edge, and as I come to the end, I should end the same. Purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, and then there's the purl stitch like I started on the beginning, and then that one last stitch you can either knit like I do, or you can slip it, whichever way that you are used to. So now we're going to repeat this ribbing. Of course, you can do any, you know, inches, however many rows you want, but I suggest this is The first row is the wrong side, so I'm going to repeat it up to row 7, and then when I turn, after I finish row 7, which we're about to start right now, then I will be on row 8. I will be on row 8, the front of the fabric, and ready to go. That's when you can stop and go ahead and be sure to mark your back, or if you need to, you'll be able to tell. But if you just feel comfortable in just always knowing that's the wrong side, fine. All right, so like I said, I'm getting ready. This is row 7 for me, and just as I was sharing with you, this is an edge stitch. I knit that first stitch, and then I go into the ribbing. Purl. This is the wrong side. Then knit. Then purl. See, I do it the same way all the time. I know. You might say, Jada, no, I like the confidence of just knowing how the results is always going to turn out, and it's always pretty. And, now if I'm doing a decorative border, which, we got a lot of things, hopefully this year, to share with you. We'll be doing other borders at the bottom. We'll get away from this one for a while. But I wanted to start with something that everyone can be ready to go and would, feel confident. So, as you can see, how pretty that looks. Doesn't that look nice? I will continue around, and I will see you on row 8. Or if you want a wider ribbing, you could do 9 rows, and on row 10, if you want to go, some people like their ribbing a lot wider. I'll see you at row 10. Back in just a minute. All right, we're getting ready to start our first row of our clover stitch pattern. Now, I'm working the sample, and I've got my little formula right here written down, and you can just write yours down so that you can refer back to it, but once we get started, it'll fall into place. On my sampler, I have a border knit 4, so I've knit 4 and placed a marker. Then I have a stockinette or filler section where I knit 6. That's 2, 4, 6, and then I will place a marker. You can place markers to separate all your sections if you like, but since this is so small, I'm not going to do it so that you can see me. Make sure that you can see all the stitches that I'm going to work with you. All right, let's get ready to call out row 1. There are 12 rows in the pattern again, but remember the wrong side, we just purl. So row 1 of this clover stitch is knit 2 stitches together, knit 4, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 4. Then you'll slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, knit 4, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and knit 4. And when we get to the last repeat, you will do a slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over. So let's go. So we have a knit 2 stitches together, then knit 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, right? Knit 1, yarn over again, knit 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now the next repeat is slip 1. So I slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over, knit 4 stitches, 3 and 4. All right, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and knit 4. All right, so we're up to the last repeat for my little sample. Now, you're working on the sweater. If I was working on my sweater, I'd be doing 7 repeats. And you can separate each repeat with a marker if you like. But this is so small, I'm going to continue. All right, I continue with a slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, knit 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, then we have a yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 stitches left. You will slip 1 stitch like that, knit 1 stitch, reach back and pass that 1 slip stitch over. That should end, that's going to end my repeat of my pattern for this short sample. So I'm going to put on a marker to show that I finished working this lace stitches. Now I should have 6 stitches to end it at 1. And 6 stitches, those are just the extra stitches right there. And then I have a 4-stitch border, and I put this on here, the 4-stitch border, just to make this little piece nice and flat so it wouldn't roll on the edges. That's all I'm doing. And it's just to knit every row, garter stitches. So there is my first, you don't see much yet, but that is my first row. Row number 2, and all wrong sizes purl. So I will see you back at row 3. Alright, so I'm back and we're up to row 3. I think I got my yarn a little tangled here, but we shall continue. I'm working up to, here I am, to the marker. I'm now in the pattern zone into our clover lace. Now, row 3 reads, knit 2 stitches together, knit 3, yarn over, knit 3, do it again, yarn over, knit 3, then you slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass that slip stitch over, knit 3, another sequence is yarn over, knit 3, do it again, yarn over, knit 3, and you will repeat that to the last 2 stitches, slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over. So let's go on row 3. I am knitting 2 stitches together, just like that. Now knit 3 stitches. 3. Now the sequence is yarn over and knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Now it says do it again. So yarn over and knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now our repeat is slip 1, knit 2 together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over. Now knit 3 stitches. Here's the sequence again. Yarn over, knit 3. Now do that sequence again. Yarn over and knit 3. Alright, now going back to the repeat again. Make sure I'm not tangled up here. I don't know how I got tangled up. But at least my stitches are not falling off my needles. Alright, so back to the repeat. It is slip 1. Alright, now knit 2 stitches together. Reach back and pass that slip stitch over. Remember that. Now knit 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Now there's the sequence. The sequence again is yarn over, just yarn over, knit 3. And 3. Alright, now do it again. Yarn over and knit 3. 2 and 3. And at the end of all your repeats, of course I don't have that many on this little sample, you should have 2 stitches left. You'll simply slip 1, just like that, then knit 1, and then pass that slip stitch over. Don't forget. Now I can slide my marker to end the lace or the pattern zone. Now I knit my 6 stitches that were just to fill in the project. Just knit across, and then my 4-stitch border we knit on every row to form a garter border. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Voila. Let's see, can we see anything yet? Oh, a little bit. All right. And you can see how it just looks really nice with our 1x1 ribbon. Can you see that on there? All right, so now, of course, row 4 is the wrong side. We'll simply purl, except for your borders. I'm sure you know not to purl your borders, to knit every row. And I will see you back at row 5. Take care. Now we're going to start having a lot of yarn overs. So now you need to take care of your yarn overs. All right, back in just a minute for row 5. All right, I am back with row 5. I'm knitting over to my pattern zone marker, and there it is. There's the clover stitch, or the clover pattern coming to life there. You can see the pretty yarn overs. I slide my marker, and now we're going to read row 5. All right, it says, knit 2 stitches together, knit 2, yarn over, knit 5, yarn over, knit 2. Then you slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, knit 2, yarn over, knit 5, yarn over, knit 2. And you will end with 2 stitches, and you simply slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over. So row 5, nice, sounds nice and easy. Here we go. We just simply knit 2 stitches together, just like that. Now I knit 2, 1, 2. All right, now yarn over, knit 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, little yarn. All right, now yarn over, just like that. Knit 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Now starting another repeat, slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass a slip stitch over. Knit 2, knit 2, 1, 2. Now yarn over, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now yarn over, knit 2, 1, 2. All right, to repeat again, slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass that slip stitch over, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over, knit 5, 1, 2, there's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now yarn over and knit 2, 1, 2, and there's 2 stitches left on row 5, so I slip 1, knit the other stitch, and pass that slip stitch over and off the needle just like that. Slide my marker. Of course, you have a long row, so just take care. Now I knit off my 6 stitches that I used to, all I did was use those 6 stitches to, center it to balance off. Now slide this marker and I knit the 4 stitches for on this little small one on the sweater. Maybe I didn't say it, but on the sweater, I knit the first and last stitch. It doesn't have a border. It just has that first and last stitch, or you can slip it. On this piece, I added the border so that it would not roll, so you could see the pattern once I get far enough along, or you can continue and make it a nice scarf. So now you can see the border, you can see the garter ridge. Here's our stitches. And as we start to build on this clover pattern, now it's a good time to start noticing where stitches fall. When I did that knit 5, look, it started another sequence or another pattern section, see, right there. And that way you can keep track. Every one of the slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass the slip stitch over, see where it lands. It makes a nice column there. You will be able to see it on yours, even if you don't see it as well on mine, if mine is light. But you will be able to tell instantly if you've missed one or you forgot to slip it over. So now is a good time you're learning how to recognize where you are on the pattern. Now, row 6, of course, is the wrong side. I will see you back at row 7. Watch your yarn overs. Alright, so I'm up to row 7. And I need to knit over to the pattern zone real quick. Just knit over there. I knit my little 4-stitch border that I knit on every row. On this simple scarf, on the sweater, you just knit the first stitch and the last, and then you continue, then you go into, just continue to knit those, to finish those stitches out. There's not really a formal border on the sweater because I want to make a nice seam when we sew the front and the back together. So now I'm over to my marker, the pattern zone, and this is row 7. It says knit 1, yarn over, knit 4, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, knit 4, yarn over, knit 1, and just repeat that to the end. Oh, well, this is a really simple row. I think we hadn't had one this simple. Let's go then. Knit 1, row 7 now, yarn over, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, now watch. The next thing is slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. In this new section right there, we're getting ready to repeat this column, but in this new section. So you can always tell where this is going to land. So it says slip 1, this is row 7, slip 1, and then knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over, and you can see it right there. Now we knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over and knit 1. Alright, now we need to do the repeat again, and it is yarn over, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see if we land in the right place. We do, because now I need to slip 1. Takes 3 stitches to make this stitch. Slip 1. Now knit 2 stitches together. Pass that slip stitch over. See, it's in the right place. Knit 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over and knit 1. And there it is again. We're in the right place. Alright, last repeat for me. Alright, yarn over, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, now slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass that slip stitch over, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, to finish the row is yarn over and knit 1, that last stitch. Now I can slide the marker and knit off the row. Boy, that was a nice, easy little row. So now row 8, slide my marker, knit these. Row 8 is the purl side. So I will see you back on row number 9. And look how pretty everything is lining up. I will see you back at row 9. All right, I'm ready for row 9. Oh, this is moving right along. Well, I guess because I'm not doing another sweater in real time, because I'm trying to learn how to film more efficiently, and how to film. I'm gonna have to film in different sequence, but when you see it, it'll all be in the right order. But I'm gonna have to learn how to film out of order. Mess myself up. All right, so I am on row number 9. I need to knit over. I don't know why I was talking and wasn't knitting. Oh, I want to talk, but I don't want to talk. I want to get this, and then maybe we'll have time to talk or something at near the end of the video or something. Trying to save space on my camera, save the time that I have. All right, so I'm up to the pattern zone. I slide the marker. Row 9 reads, knit 2, yarn over, knit 3, slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass the slip stitch over, knit 3. Here's a sequence. Yarn over, knit 3. Now do it again. Yarn over, knit 3. Then you slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass the slip stitch over, knit 3. And on this row you end with 2 stitches, but before the last 2 stitches you have to do a yarn over, knit 2. And I'll remind you when we get there not to forget this yarn over. All right, row 9, knit 2. Change my camera a little bit. Let me just see. Maybe just double before I go any further. See if I'm on. Yep, I think that's good. It's kind of hard to tell. I think I'm okay. Okay, so row 9 is knit 2. All right, now here we go. Yarn over, knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Slip 1, knit 2 stitches together. Pass the slip stitch over. Knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now here's a sequence. It is yarn over, so yarn over that needle. Now knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now let's do that again. You take your yarn over, and knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now the next thing we need to do is to slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass that slip stitch over. See, it lines up good. All right, now knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we want to start the repeat again, and the repeat is yarn over, knit 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Now do it again. Yarn over, 1, 2, and 3. All right, now slip 1, just like that. Just slip it over. Knit the next 2 stitches together. Pass that slip stitch over. Oh my God. Knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now we have 2 stitches left, but on this row, on number 9, I need you to yarn over, then knit those last 2 stitches. 1 and 2. We added a yarn over, then we knitted the last 2 stitches. And then, of course, I just knit the rest of the row. on this right side, row number 9. Row 10 will be the wrong side, so you purl. And I will see you back at row 11. Let me just get to the end and we'll take a look. I will see you back at row 11. Alright, we are up to row 11. The last actual pattern row, because row 12 will be a purl row. So I probably won't even worry about doing that on camera. So I'm going over to the pattern zone. And then I think we'll have a little time left on this disc in the camera to talk a little bit, so I can show you the sweater. I want to talk about the sweater because that's really what I'm want you to try. All right. Row 11 reads, knit 3, yarn over, knit 2, slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass the slip stitch over, knit 2, yarn over, knit 5, yarn over, knit 2, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, knit 2. You will end with 3 stitches left, but before you knit the last 3 stitches, you need to add a yarn over. So I'll remind you of that when we get to it. So let's start row 11. It says knit 3. All right, and then of course a yarn over, knit 2. 1, 2. Now slip 1, knit 2 stitches together. Now pass that slip stitch over, check and see if it lines up with the previous stitches. Yes, it does. Knit 2, 1, 2. Now I need a yarn over and knit 5 stitches. You can see where that's going to fall. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 stitches. A little more yarn here. Then after that we need a yarn over and knit, let's see, knit 2. 1, yarn over, knit 2. Yep, that's where I am. Alright, now I need to slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass that slip stitch over, and then knit, pass the slip stitch over, knit 2. 1, 2. Another repeat, yarn over, knit 5. 1, 2. That's 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, knit 2. 1, 2. Slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, pass that slip stitch over, and push up a little bit, knit 2 stitches. 1, 2. Now I have 3 stitches left to knit, but I need to yarn over, one last yarn over, now knit the last 3. 1, 2, and 3. Voila. Now I knit off to finish up row 11. Just knit my stitches here. And knit my little 4-stitch border on this particular little scarf. Okay, now row 12 is to purl. But I want to, let's just take a look real quick. I hope this wasn't so light that you can't see it. I'll bring it close. Now you can see the pattern start to pop out and how it flows from the 1 by 1 ribbing. So that's why on this particular stitch I did not add a knit and a purl row in between. I just went from the ribbing right into the row 1 of the pattern, and it is just absolutely alright. In fact, let me show you. Let me just pull the front over here, because like I said, I'm gonna have to learn how to film out of order. You'll see it in order, but in order to get some as we get larger projects. All right, now I'm going to move my little sample because I really want to talk about the sweater. All right, now I've brought over the sweater. This is a sweater before I finished and sewed the sweater together. That's why I said I'm going to have to see if I can start filming maybe a little different. All right, so I'll pull this up. All right, let's talk about the sweater for a minute, since you just had that little sample. As you can see, here's my border, just like on the sample. And then I did this clover stitch. And I don't know if I kept up with how many repeats I did, but if I go right up the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like 5 leaves right up the center. So you can see this one I couldn't crop because I needed enough space to put this clover stitch is quite large, and so I wanted enough of it on the sweater, the front of the sweater. And like I said, on this sweater there is no border per se. It says B, but really I just did the stockinette stitch, and then, you know, I knit my first and last stitch. You can slip yours or whatever, but that's how the edge will look, so that we can sew front and back and have a nice seam. Does that make sense? Okay, so then I did however many repeats up, trying to get to my underarm, and I think I did over 10 inches. I think it came to after I did the finished up on row 12 of the pattern, the last purl row. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I finished up, and I had on that last purl row, of course I purled all the stitches across, and then when I purled them back, you know, and then when I got here, for my underarm is where I want to add my sleeve. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, I'm a little off tonight. But I'll be back on. Just it'll hit me in a minute. Okay, and that's where I wanted to add stitches to go ahead and add a sleeve. Now this is not like a long sleeve all the way down, but it's at least to your elbow, I think. And you can decide on how many stitches you want. You may not want yours. You may only want, I think I added 15. Yes, I added 15 extra stitches, which we're going to do. I'm going to show you how I added them. But you can pick any number you want. But I wouldn't try to go down, because the sleeve, the knitting is going this direction. I wouldn't go all the way down to my, like a cuff or anything like that. This is going to just be a nice 3/4 length, and then we'll put some kind of bottom, either the 1 by 1, or we'll think of something. I hadn't thought that far ahead. But we'll do something at the end, but it will be a nice loose sleeve. It will not be like a fitted cardigan sleeve, you know, like we normally fit with the 1 by 1 ribbing. It will be a nice loose. And as I added these stitches and worked my way across to the center, we're going to do a wide V-neck. As you can see on the sample, the V-neck is wide. It is meant to be worn, to have something under it, like I could have a little camisole or something, or a little blouse or something. But it's meant to be worn like this. It's not one of those, you know. So I have, you know, some pretty camisoles or something like that. But you will have something under this, because this is a wide V sweater, and it's going to be a kind of a low V, because the V is going to start right, or I'm going to go ahead and start decreasing, and decreasing on each side as we start working across and working under, you know, working our sleeve. And there's my sleeve on the opposite side. So, all right, let's see, can I get myself together here? It's late. I fell asleep. What's wrong with me? All right, so let me get the little sample and let me show you how to add the sleeves. And we'll work across, and you will need a marker, really nice, one of these little one of these little markers that close, because we want to find this center stitch of our sweater to mark the center of the V. All right, let me get the little sample and we will continue.